It's a beautiful evening and I'd like to show you some of my favourite plants in the garden. Starting here with this flowering cherry, a lovely small tree that would be great in anybody's garden. And then here's a really popular plant. It's an arrhythmium called Bowles Mauve, and these are readily available, just like the flowering cherries, a lot of trees in stock. The arrhythmiums just keep flowering month after month. Sometimes you can get them flowering nearly all year, and they're available as small plants that are great in pots, like the one we've just gone past, and also great to just put straight in the ground. This is probably my favourite tree. It's a Cornus called Eddie's White Wonder. It's not a particularly commonly available variety, but we will have Cornus as shrubs and trees in the garden centre. The most popular being Cornus cusa, which comes out a little bit later in the year. Now I'm looking at some of the choice Cornus in the garden centre, and look at this Satomi here. It's a beautiful small tree stroke large shrub. It's a really nice shape, and a plant like that's £75, but it is a very choice plant. All the flowering dogwoods, the Cornus, are really popular as a sort of special item in people's gardens. And then we've got a few Cornus cusa here, and look at that one there. That's cappuccino, and you can see from the label beautiful big flowers that it's going to have, a bit like the Eddie's White Wonder in my garden. And around here again you can see these Cornus cusa, and look at this one here, Beni Fuji, beautiful pink bracts that hopefully you can see in the picture. So, and there again we're at £75. That seems to be the going price for a Cornus. Now, one of the things I like about Eddie's White Wonder is those huge flowers, and look at this one here. It's actually telling us on the label giant flowers. And another appealing feature of the Cornus, the flowering dogwoods, is these strawberry-like fruits. And actually they're edible, you can eat them, but you might be paying a trip to the dentist if you do, because they have very hard pips in them. But they are, well, not as nice as strawberries, even though a lot of them look like strawberries. So there are some of the Cornus that we've got, really nice as a feature plant in your garden. Here we've got Choisia tonata in full flower. It's mock orange. It's a really good, useful evergreen, great in a border, and doesn't it look lovely with this pyrus, beautiful red growth of the pyrus coming up there with it, which is lovely. We're moving on here. This is a Cornus cusa, and as I said, it comes out later than Eddie's White Wonder, but in another month it's going to be absolutely full of beautiful white bract-like flowers that look like bracts. Sorry, bracts that look like flowers. Down here, Pittosporum. This one is Pittosporum Tom Thumb, small one. It's often seen in pots, although this is quite a large variety. It's got that very distinctive burgundy red foliage with light green growth coming out. Here's another Choisia. This is Aztec Pearl, and what makes it a little bit different from the standard Choisia tonata is it's got these very these long finger-like leaves, and that one's budding up beautifully. Look how much flower is going to come in on that. And just behind it, and much bigger, is another Pittosporum. Pittosporum are a brilliant evergreen backbone of the garden type plant. They're quite fast growing, up to about 3 meters or so quite quickly. But look how gorgeous the flowers are. They're quite small, they're not particularly noticeable, but they're really pretty this time of the year. So, and just behind this one is another one here that I'm going to show you, which is a beautiful variegated Pittosporum. So they're really good value Pittosporum in terms of plants that don't cost too much, really quite fast growing, brilliant background in your garden. Now we're going to quickly go round. Here's the shed that we only put up last week, and I'm going to jump across a slightly messy bit of the garden just to finish by showing you this really nice Japanese Acer. So this is one of my favourites. I love the Japanese Acers, slow growing, small tree. It can't really be beaten, can it? They're gorgeous. And I particularly like this one here. It's a lovely red colour, and it's not the dissectum one. The ones with the really fine leaves can be quite tempting, those very fine leaves, but these ones with the slightly thicker leaves are actually easier to look after. They're not as temperamental. I'm just breaking off for a minute to show you these acers at the garden centre. These medium-sized acers are all $29.99. Lots of different ones with the dissectum type leaves here, and in green, red ones, some with this sort of peachy type colour. Really fantastic range of different acers. As we go to the slightly larger pot size, they move up to $39.99. And again, a really good range. You can see these very dissected leaf ones. They're the most popular ones. Although personally, I find it a little bit easier to grow the ones with a slightly less fine leaf, like we've got up here. They just don't dry out quite so quickly. They don't suffer in this bright sunshine that we're having today. Then we're going up to an even larger pot size, which is at sort of £90. And there's a couple right on the end here, which are in £100 pots, big pots, giving you a lot of real instant impact. So there we have some Japanese acers or maples looking fantastic in the garden centre today. So that is just a little sort of look at one of my favourite shrub borders in the garden. And hopefully you're enjoying your gardens at the moment, possibly more than you normally do in the current lockdown. But I hope that you've enjoyed having a little look at this border, and gives you some ideas for things that you might want to get from the garden centre.